And so this is the magic of who you are on the back of the knee. Then it continues up, and the 9 is right at the bottom of the shoulder blades. Right where you go.
Oh yeah, I feel my bro spot. Right there. I call it the bro.
Shit.
This is the Heartbreak Hotel.
Yeah.
This is where we hold the, this is where your body is filtering out all the pain and suffering from the past so you don't take it forward into the future with you. So past life wounds from your heart, childhood issues, the lover that left you 6 weeks ago, all of that sits right here as your body tries to filter it out as it's coming up the spine. It keeps it from coming up into your head. It keeps it from coming out through your heart chakra. So it's trying to help you out by not taking the baggage into the next cycle of your life with you. Then it goes up to the 10, which is a little trickier to reach. It's right in the middle of the shoulder blade.
Oh wow, really? Look at her. Oh, it feels nice.
So the 10 is, if you know astrology, it's Virgo energy. 10 is where it's about our sovereignty and personal dominion. So the flip side of that is where you're trying to be perfect and you're trying to match some external standard of perfection. So this is about thinking and knowing that you're perfect who you are on the inside all the time. And it's unfolding and changing daily. And it's up to the 11, which is right here on the top. And this is tight on almost everybody. This is where the physical body filters out emotional toxins. So the physical chemicals that are happening in your body when you get angry at someone, or when you get hurt, or when you're standing next to somebody who is having a huge emotional thing.
This is where the smell comes from. When people release
Oh,
their
yeah.
stress,
Yeah.
tension, or
Fear.
help them,
Yeah, that fear
there's
thing.
that chemically smell.
Yeah.
It's in this area.
And the good news is it's water soluble. Once you get the history of your emotional body emptied out, then a big glass of water will just open this right up. And then it goes up to the 12, which is
History's water soluble.
emotional history.
Emotional history is water soluble.
You can quote me on that.
Wash away your.
Your history.
We need a little wet naps. You know, sins. Wash away your sins.
It's a whole marketing campaign.
Yeah, that's so weird.
It's already been done. It's
I saw
already,
that yesterday.
it's already been
Yeah.
done.
Oh.
They've got soap and everything.
So the 12, you'll notice that the 12 is right below the 4, and the energy of consciousness is coming up the spine to the head. The 12 is about surrendering your personal will to divine will. All right, so we've got the intellect, like the divine consciousness, matching at the 3, and at the 4, your spirit and God are the same thing. But at the 12, it ends up the like negative things that we clear out of there in order to have that open up are like misperceptions of who God is. Past life, usually, but it can be childhood stuff too. So anyway, surrendering the personal will to the right vision of what God is, or the one that's truth and that works with your body. Then it goes over the top and down to here, which is the 13. And this is where you change form. And lots of people have a lot of tension and soreness there. But the cool thing is, it feels the same, all these points feel the same when they're contracting as they do when they're opening. All they're doing is telling you that that aspect of consciousness is changing. So the fact that a point hurts isn't a bad thing. It can mean that it's opening, or that it's releasing.
When I massage, quite often I massage that part and the back part, shoulder blade at the same time, and get a lot of relief on people. What are the 2 points? What's the back one?
The 10 usually, the one that's we think we're supposed to be perfect. and we can't change because we're trying to adhere to some
The changes in the
perfection thing.
front and.
Changes in the front and perfections in the back.
So when I do, because when I just do the back, it doesn't affect. When I touch the front and the back at the same time, they go.
You're doing Jinshin. If you look at the Jinshin,
it release.
they're partner points.
There you
They
go.
help each other release.
Okay.
Cool.
Good. Yay! Do a golf clap.
Bodies are so cool.
Yeah.
So changing form is here. Then it goes down to underneath your rib cage. And underneath your rib cage is, this is where the 14s, and this is where you make sense of what's happening out here and digest it inside.
The physical.
Makes me feel sick when I push there. I'm like, ugh.
Trying to make sense of things. How we digest, how we assimilate information from the outside of us. And underneath there, you know, is your pancreas, which is taking the energy that you eat and turning it into personal power. And the gallbladder's under there helping work with the emotional body. And your liver's under here helping you work with the emotions and cleansing your blood system and helping clean out the emotional debris and stuff. So there's a lot going on in there. So there's the 14. Now the 15 is right in the leg crease. This is your joy.
Yeah, it is. Is this like where your what's it called are? Oh, there.
Ovaries. My testicles.
There
Little
are
balls in that.
lymph
Yeah.
glands in there. Yeah, there's a lymph node right in there.
A little.
So when the 15's open, you start laughing instantly.
I love it. I know it's a
So these
deep
guys
song.
have both got their 15s open.
Oh, yeah.
The 15s have to be
I don't
open in
think
order
they're
to be
closed.
laughing.
Your teeth are showing.
This is a highlight.
Hey there!
I am man.
I am mad. Giggle man. Oh, that feels good.
So the joy comes from being happy and content for having a body.
Careful when you
So if you
fall.
don't like your body or you're not
New
comfortable
tickle
being
spot.
in a human body, then these 15s will not open.
Still rubbing.
You have to be in there having fun. Okay, then the
Stop it.
energy is going down front and it starts to come back up and now it's on the outside in the little, like halfway between the heel and the bone that sticks out. So the 16 is where the 5 was about your emotional history and traumas that you've experienced emotionally. The outside holds the history of like times when you've been afraid that you're going to be physically hurt. So this holds the structure and helps you be strong in your physical structure. So if you're afraid you're going to get the shit beat out of you and you're 4 and you've got an older sister, there's probably some history in your 16s that wants to open up.
And when you jump from a really high place and you land on your feet and like you get that collapse in your
Yeah.
ankle and then it hurts really bad.
Yeah.
So I have weak ankles. Do you think that's associated?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because that's the only part of my body that's really weak.
Mhm.
I sprain my ankles.
And your ankles are also
Yeah, me too.
your Aquarius energy. So it's how you're translating knowledge and information
Oh.
into your spiritual path.
Shit.
And the feet are your Neptune, it's your psychic abilities, your Pisces energy. So there's some of that is there too. Which is why it's good for you to meditate. It helps you get the spirit stronger in the upper body so that it's stronger on the feet too. Which you need to balance that strong earth
So-
energy coming up through.
Spirit to body or body to spirit is the change there.
This
Spirit
point
energy.
is about whether or not your spirit is safe in your body, really.
Okay.
Or whether or not your body feels safe and protected because your spirit's in it. There, that opened it.
Yeah.
Now it's flowing. That was cool. You just recalibrated a whole bunch of things in your body. Just take
Yeah.
a couple breaths and feel that go.
Uh-huh.
Everything's open now.
That's funny.
So glad we could help with that. Then it comes up the back. And if your arms are hanging here, these are part of the back. So this is where you drain excess tension out of the mind. So in general, on the left side of the body, it's strengthening and building. And on the right side, it's releasing and letting go. So if you hold the 17 on your left wrist, you're helping to strengthen a clear mind. If you hold the one on the right, you're helping to let go of the garbage that's in there that keeps it from being calm and clear. And either one will help you release tension.
Ever
How
been
does
to
that
Now You Know
filter
Why You
when
Came
you do
Here?
massage?
What
Like
do you
if
mean?
I'm
Oh, and you're the massager.
Yeah.
You know, I have a friend who's a chiropractor, and what she does is she visualizes these little spigots on her elbows, and when she holds the person's head, she just opens these up, and it drains out into a bucket.
Whoa,
She's
that's
great.
cool.
That's good to know.
So you can do stuff like that just to help
Because
visualize.
that would be
it. So-
confusing energy otherwise if I'm releasing emotional whatever that's going on in my mind, it's going out into someone else.
It isn't going in them. It doesn't go through your fingertips.
It just
that
releases itself
point
out.
just helps remind the head to open.
Okay.
So then to the 18, which is right here, and this is where who you are on the inside matches the personality that you present to the world. When I first moved to Sun Valley, I had 6 or 7 clients who were women in their 60s whose husbands had just retired, who were like major CEO, Fortune 500 dudes. And these women had always had plenty of money, so they did all the workshops they wanted to do and went anywhere. They all had spent time at Deepak's center, And then the husbands retired and they moved to Sun Valley, and now they were having to participate in his old paradigm structures. And he didn't know as much as they did about the body and about emotions and blah, blah, blah. And every one of them. I mean, they could hardly move their thumbs. They were seized up and tucked in here close, and all of them. It was hilarious. So, that was pretty dramatic.
Does that have anything to do with carpal tunnel?
Carpal
Who else
tunnel,
is here?
I think it's actually a car outside the door.
It was loud.
The carpal tunnel actually comes from the 9 and the 10 being blocked. Back here.
Okay.
It's the heart. And when the heart doors are closed, trying to keep history in the past out and lots of heartbreak, first it fills up behind the heart, and then it fills up the shoulders, and then it fills up the elbows, which is where we were just going. This is the 19. And when the heart is too filled with grief, it starts to fill up the elbows, and the elbows are where we hold old uncried tears. And then when the elbows are filled with grief, then the wrists start to fill up. So by the time you get carpal tunnel, it's just a huge backlog of emotions that haven't been experienced. And all that needs to happen is the 9 and 10 need to open, and the carpal tunnel goes away instantly.
Doctor said I'm gonna get carpal tunnel.
No, you're not. Don't you listen to that. Because we're going to show you how to do your emotional body. So the 19 is about putting out and taking in energy in balance. And when you put out and take in energy in balance, you are a good leader, or you should be a leader. So the 19 will tell you if you're supposed to be stepping up to the plate and you're not, or it'll tell you if somebody around you is leading in a way that isn't appropriate. You have pain there? Okay. Now it continues up to the top and it goes to the 20s. And the 20s are where all this information that your body's experiencing and trying to get to your mind comes forward into awareness right here. So this is your awareness or new awareness. And then the awareness drops down into clarity, which is on the cheekbones. And this is your clear vision, whether it's your eyesight or your psychic abilities. Intuition, perception, your ability to see the truth inside yourself.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
No, that's cool. On the 17th, Brian just opened up a whole new relationship with his body. So he's really getting a new experience of how the energy moves, which is way cool.
Jasmine freaks out when you touch her that she loves it. She's
I
like,
love
harder,
it.
harder, harder.
I want people
You're
to
looking for
step
more
on my face
clarity.
right here.
So now you can open it with yours,
It's right in
which
front
will
of
be
you.
much more effective. You won't have to push so hard. You can just open it. Because right now it's closed, and so you're having to push really hard to get information. But when it's open, then you won't need to push at all. It'll just be flowing.
How do you get it open?
You're doing it now. Just by holding it and listening to your body and knowing what it's talking about, then it doesn't have to keep giving you the message. So your body wants you to use your clarity. Then it comes down to the 22s, which are right underneath the collarbone. And all the points, if you're in a lot of fear, they'll pull to the center line. So if you're really frightened, the points will be in here. And if you just spent 3 days in bed with somebody, they'll be out here. Same with your 15s. They'll be in close to, like right on the corners of the pubic bone if your body's in fear. And if you just had 3 great days making love to somebody, they'll be clear out here.
Are yours crisscrossed?
No, actually I had a great morning. They're fine.
Oh, good.
She.
Yeah. Did Al come visit you?
No, I was alone. That works just as well. So the 22s, the 22s
Oh
are
shit, I was back in my
about
15.
His are
receiving.
crisscrossed. He hasn't had sex in like 12 years or something.
Al?
Yeah.
Yeah, his are over there.
Yeah.
Solve the
Which way?
thinking.
Oh, he's on a spiritual path.
Yes, whatever.
That would not be a spiritual
Yeah,
path.
that's not it for me either.
But Jesus told me.
My spirit comes out my penis.
Jesus told me to.
Hallelujah.
So this is where you need to get a bigger basket. This is all about receiving, and this is allowing yourself to receive. So if you're a caretaker or if you're a nursing mom, man, these are so tender. And we need to have them open to receive, to have abundance, whether it's cash or love or community, whatever. So there's the allowing.
Look at Cutie Kitty. She's like right in the circle. She's like perfectly
Yeah.
in the circle.
So now it goes down the front and up the back to the 23s, which are right here at the bottom of the rib cage. And this point regulates addiction.
Regulates what?
Addictions. So if you get really loaded, the next day this part of your back is really vulnerable to getting
Kidneys,
hurt.
Yeah.
liver.
Because your kidneys are having to filter out all the toxins, and the vertebrae that are in there are stressed, and so you're much more liable to pick something up and tweak your back, you know.
And also with the chakras, that's desire, intention, will, and destiny. And if you're being toxic, you're being self-destructive as opposed to be creative.
Yeah.
So you're not creating desire, intention, will, destiny. You're not creating your
Not in a
destiny.
good way, yeah.
Instead, you're being self-destructive and ignoring it. And so
Yeah.
it is appropriate that that's emotionally there too.
So in order to cut like if you want to quit smoking, this point has to be open, or you need to nurture that point into being open. The 23 in its positive format or way of saying it is, its job is keeping heaven and earth in perfect balance. Heaven being the upper body, earth being the lower body. So there's the 23, up and over. Now we're going to the 24, which is on the top of the foot. And this is the point that Emmy crashed on with his foot. This is the point that was having the most trouble. This is about chaos. When you're experiencing chaos,
There
in
was
the outer-
chaos when he fell. It was so funny.
Robin was laughing the hardest at everybody. Wasn't that hilarious? He's just going around the corner. It was like a cartoon. It was like,
So this is particularly energy chaos, like non-physical, but it plays out in physical too. So this point is about peace versus chaos. So when it's open and energy is flowing through there, it brings you great peacefulness. And when it's closed and bombarded with energy, it's the experience of chaos.
Yep.
And then it comes up the back to the 25s, which you're sitting on.
Yeah.
They're right at right where the joint is. the 25s filter out physical toxins, where the emotional toxins are filtered here. On the other end of the torso is the physical toxins. So if you went and worked out way more than you usually do, this is where it would filter out the toxins that are getting kicked loose. If you have a systemic yeast infection, this is one of the points that you'll notice first when the body overtoxifies with yeast.
Oddly enough, when I exercise, and I haven't been exercising for a while, my ass itches.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't like a normal. No, but it tingles
Yeah,
in those
that's it.
spots.
Yeah, it's the toxin.
It
Getting filtered out.
But yeah, it tingles in an odd way. But
Weird.
it's not like a scratch itch. It's a different.
Yeah.
Like a tingling.
Yeah.
A tingling sensation.
So you missed the 24s,
Chaos.
which is chaos versus peace.
Yeah, I got that.
I got that.
That one is way open on him, actually. That was the one we opened that night. Working on you.
I like it. Ah, yeah.
So, okay, the 25s are opening physical toxins.
25s are your both?
Yeah, they're right at the top of where the leg and the butt come together. And then the 26s are right here on the sides of your heart chakra. And the 26s are all about loving yourself. And they're usually tender. So self-love, and for Stacy and you, it's your spiritual axis of orientation.
Wow.
So to strengthen your spirit and stay on your spiritual path, you can hold those 2 points.
Okay.
What if it's not tender? Is it good that it's not tender? Does it mean that's close or?
It means your body's not talking to you right now about self-love issues.
Yeah, it's not happening.
Yeah.
You're like, shit, I'm the shit.
I'll leave you alone then. I'll love you later.
26 is the end of the cycle and the beginning of the next one. So it all hinges on our self-love. Moving into the next cycle of power hinges on self-love.
Did you hear that? That's a big one. That's a good bit of
So
information.
there it is. 26
Hey.
points one time through. Now you all know Jinshin.
We missed the first 11 on the tape, but you and I
I'll
will
do
get
it
them.
again.
And then we need the 5 Tibetan rites from you.
That was like a spiral. When you started
They do.
with 4 points in the back, about 4 points in the front, and then it just kept going like you kept going around the body
7 times.
7 times.
And it spirals the energy
It
up.
spirals the energy up.
Mhm.
Very cool.
Jinshin is just the coolest system. It has so many things that it uses the 5 elements and the 26 organ flows, and each one of those 26 aspects of consciousness is supporting each one of your organs, and then the meridian flows go to different parts of the body.
Which ginseng? How do you say this?
Jinshin, J-I-N.
Jinshin. Is there another word?
Jitsu.
Jinsen Jitsu. And the other two?
Jinshin Do is the one by Iona Teagarden.
And that's an older one or a newer one?
They all
Oh,
came
I
from
love
Jinshin
that.
Jitsu.
Okay. How old is Jinsen Jitsu?
Want me to rub number 6?
Well, it's a traditional healing form in Japan.
So
It's been
4,000
handed
years
down.
old? Probably.
We don't know. It's just been handed down orally. But Mary Burmeister went to Jiro Arai's clinic in Japan in the 50s and 60s for treatment. And so she's the one who brought it to North America. And she was starting to teach in like the early 70s.
So isn't it funny how new things are? 60s and 70s?
It's got the whole history of Jinshin is so similar to the history of Reiki. They both had this one guy who was really sick and went to the mountaintop to figure out how to survive. And one came down with the Reiki symbols, and the other one came down realizing to go to the countryside and collect Jinshin Jitsu from all the old people that still were doing it. And they both taught an American Japanese woman.
The same person?
No, a different one.
Oh.
It's just the
Oh.
same time
Yeah,
in
okay.
history. They're contemporaries of one another. It's pretty amazing. But they both taught a Japanese American woman who came to them for treatment in the 60s, and then brought it back here and started teaching.
That's insanity.
And yet they didn't teach themselves. They taught the woman how to teach. Is that right?
And one of the things I like is like
Hollywood. Hollywood signs over there. And then over here is LA. And right behind LA, there's snow on the mountains. I'll show those to you in a minute.
yeah, it's like 30,000 miles.
And we're headed to the desert.
There was an article in the paper last
Wake up! Wake up! Alright, so here behind LA, you can see the snow peeking out from the mountains. Back behind LA there, in the corner. You see that there's snow on top of the mountain back behind. I'll show you in a minute. And here's the, right below the blue building here is the Staples Center. And the mountains are back behind. You know, and then there's Barney Fife.
Or, what's his name? Forrest Gump.
Yeah, but you know.
Totally on.
Yeah. But it really, that. So this is LA from the east side. Where it was.
Not any of the signs anywhere. Something to do hanging out because you have to be in service to you now. Not true. Alright, so now go inside and look at your pineal gland because that's the limiter right at the moment. You've got them all lit up and you're ready to clear them out, but it can't go to a higher frequency because there's well, you look at it. Look at your pineal gland, which is straight in here.
I gotta show Stacy this
Alright,
one.
so we got a critter on board here. Embedded in the spinal column is another being, basically, that isn't actually part of you. Somebody you linked up with in another lifetime. So we're gonna just
So like such power.
Oh yeah. How there's yeah. We could go to the outlets in the casino, and we could go. And they could see the dinosaurs. We could go to the hot springs. I hope they decide to come with us. Yeah, you can't imagine how big they are. They're like 300 feet tall.
yeah, it's like the box on top of the pole is the size of a car.
Oh no, bigger. No.
So be careful, do it inward.
Oh, Casey, the air is different out here.
It's because you're not alone.
Oh my God, yeah, there.